Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. So today I wanted to film a brow tutorial for you guys. This video has been highly requested by people, especially lately. I've been getting so many compliments on my brows ever since I changed the way that I fill them in within the last few weeks. I've changed how I do my brows and everyone that I know has loved it. So I wanted to film a video for you guys all about how I do my brows. I'm loving my hair today. It's a good hair day. Also, if you don't already, make sure to go follow me over on Instagram. My name is @MaloneMUA, just like here on YouTube. Make sure you go give me a follow, give my photos a like, comment, tell me what you love. Also, tell me what looks you want to see. I'm currently doing the 100 Days of Makeup Challenge. I'm halfway through, a little bit more than halfway, but I would love to have your guys' recommendations on looks that you want to see so that I can get the juices flowing and get some looks out for you guys that you love. Also, don't forget to subscribe to my channel, be my friend. Subscribe to my channel until the end. Subscribe! And you know I'm going to give you a Bible verse before we get into the video. Today's verse comes from Ephesians 1:11 in the Message version. And it says, it's in Christ that we find out who we are and what we are living for. Basically, that scripture is just saying that if you're lost and you're like, what am I going to do with my life? Who am I supposed to be? Like, what even is my life? Then when we find Christ, that's where we find that. When we lean on Christ and we look to Christ for all of our answers and for our life plans and stuff, like he has everything planned out for us. He goes before us and lights the way for us. He opens doors that he wants open for us. He closes the ones that will be bad for us, and he just guides the way for us. So if you are someone that is struggling on the path that you're on and you're like, I just feel like I don't have purpose, I don't know what I'm doing with my life, anything like that, turn to Christ, turn to the Bible, and he will be sure to guide you and show you what the next step is in your life. Okay guys, that's all I have for you. So if you want to see how I get my brows all flaky, then just keep on watching this video. Okay, so when I do my brows, the first thing, of course, I have no makeup on. I do my brows before I do anything else. So right now I'm looking a little rough. I just got this zit last night. Oh, it's actually kind of gone, but you can still kind of see it. Not about it. So the first thing that I do is I go in with a brush comb, kind of, and I comb out my brow hair. So I'm just gonna bring my mirror closer to me so that I can see what I'm doing here. So this is like super like ghetto and old, but this is a Sonia Kashuk. I guess it's for brows, and I got this I think at Target, and the reason why I started using it was because I had the Anastasia brow, like the brush that had the spoolie on the other end, and one time I was doing my brows and the spoolie just like fell off and I never found it again. So now we have this. Anyways, so I usually will go in, I don't really ever use this side, I only like the comb. I use this brush side, and so I'll just go in with that brush side and brush my brow hairs. I brush them all straight up because I like them to be up and fluffy. It's kind of what we're going for here. So I'll brush them all straight up, just like that. Makes a little bit of difference. And then what I do is I go in with the Anastasia Dip Brow Pomade in Blonde, and I take this using a Sigma Small Angle E65 brush. It's just a really little angled brush. And what I do with this is I dip into the Anastasia brow pomade. I know mine is like pretty much gone, but I dip into that and I just barely like tap my brush into it, and then I wipe the sides off of the brush, and this is just gonna like sharpen the brush and make it a lot like pointier and thin. So I get the product on, and then I wipe off the sides, and then what I do is I go in with that brush and I just start doing little strokes of hair into my brow. Now the nice thing about this is you can kind of shape out how you want your eyebrow to be. This eyebrow for me is a pretty good brow. This one has a lot of like sparsity through here, and so I usually will draw them in as best as I can to be even with each other. I will say though, so I'll go in, I'll draw hair, and then I dip in again, I go on the sides, point it out, and then I do another hair. And I do that over and over and over until I have my entire brows done. So this is a process. It takes a while. It's like not the easiest brow you've ever done, but I really like the way it turns out, so I think that it's worth it to put in the work. So I'm just gonna go ahead and show you what I mean by doing the little strokes in my brow. So the first one that I usually do, I usually don't start in the front. I usually start towards like the middle, just because personal preference. And I usually will just start and I just draw a line up and I just flick up. So I'll kind of show you what I mean by that. Okay, so as you can see, I just drew a line right there, and that's gonna act as a hair in my brow. So now that I do that one line, I'll go back in and dip into the brow pomade, and I'll sharpen up the brush again. So as you can see, the hairs that I've drawn, I've done them all in the same direction. They're all kind of going that upwards way. And you can draw your lines in whatever direction you want to. If you want to draw them more this way, going out, you can totally do that. I like the appearance of like a brow that has a lot of hair poked up, just kind of like a crazier brow. It's just what I prefer. So on that part of my brow, I will put them upwards, but then when I get towards the tail of my brow, I start turning them a little bit more to the side. Okay, so now that we have the center of the brow through the outside, the tail end of the brow, I'm just gonna go in and do the inner part of the brow, and I do this the exact same way. Okay, so when you get to the inside of your brow, you can kind of take it in as far as you want. I kind of just take it into like this point, you know? I don't really go super far in, but if you want to bring your brow in, girl, do you. So my brow looks a little bit crazy right now. As you can see, it's just like a bunch of strokes upwards and then outwards, which looks a little bit crazy, but I'm gonna go ahead and do the next brow, and then I will be back to show you what the next step is. Okay, so now that your brows look super crazy and like they have a bunch of just crazy hairs in them, the next thing that I'll do is I'll just take the brush and what's left on it without any more product, and I'll kind of just like go through them like this and just do like little mini strokes kind of, because I just want to go through and deepen kind of between the lines a little bit, because I don't want it to look so much like it's just a bunch of lines of hair, because then it looks super fake. So you kind of just want to go through and add a little bit of product through the lines. And this is just going to make it look like your brows are more natural and like they have more depth and more color to them. So as you can see the difference between this brow and this brow. This one is a little bit more darker, has a bit more depth to it, and this one has all those lines in it, so it doesn't look so real. And I mean, you could leave your brow with all those lines if you wanted to and just rock it, but I don't like to do that. That was the creepiest face. Okay, so the next thing that I do, now that I have all this craziness going on my brows, is I will go in with the Tarte Shape Tape Concealer, and I'll go in with a Sigma Flat Definer E15 brush, and it looks like this, And basically what I do with this is I just go around my brows and I just conceal around them and clean them up. I only go on the bottom of the brow. I do not go on the top of the brow, just because I like to leave the little strokes that you can see on the top of the brow. I like to leave those there because it looks like they're hair, and if you were to go over them and cover them up, then it wouldn't look as much like they are little hairs. So I'll just take that flat definer brush from Sigma. You can use code MaloneMUA for 10% off your purchases at Sigma Brushes. And I'm just gonna take that flat concealer brush and I'm just gonna go along the edge of the bottom of my brow and really clean it up. And this is nice because you can clean up anything that you did that you messed up. Say if I would have gone in with this eyebrow brush and I would have like accidentally done a line way down underneath my brow, don't worry, that's okay, because when we go in with the concealer, that's what this is for, to clean it up and to fix all the mess ups and the boo-boos. And the boo-boos. So I'm just gonna go in with this and conceal underneath the brow. I forgot the most important part. I go back in with this brush thing and I go through the hairs. And this just softens it up a little bit. I was like, wait a minute, something's not right. So just take your little spoolie or whatever you have, this brow brush thing, and I'll just take it and I'll go through to make it so they're not so harsh. Okay, so as you can see now underneath this brow, it is cleaned up really nicely. I also bring the concealer kind of to this part of my nose on both sides, just because I want to make sure that the insides of my brow are even, and so that's how I do that. I just bring it in and I make sure that they line up, and then if they line up, I know that the inside of my brow is even. And with the concealer, I always bring it out pretty far too. I like to just drag it out pretty far. When I go in with foundation, I'll kind of buff that line out, but I just like to kind of drag the concealer out on both sides. Just personal preference, that's what I do. Okay, and of course my brows don't look identical. This one is more of a rounded, and this one more like points and then goes down. That's just how they are. They're not twins. But next thing that I'll do is I'll just go in and I go in with concealer. I put it on my lid. I do my eyeshadow. Then I go in, I do my face makeup and everything. So I'm going to go and I'm going to finish the face. And then I'll come back and I'll show you guys the last 2 steps that I do to get my brows flaky. 0 to 100 real quick. Real super quick. So as you can see, I went and I did the rest of my face. Dang girl, glam, glam, glam. And so basically I wanted to tell you also, when I went around my eyebrows with my foundation, basically I just took my foundation. So you know how we carved out underneath with concealer? So then I went and I did my foundation after that, and I used this same Sigma Flat Definer E15 brush. And I just took the foundation, not concealer, I took foundation, and I went like around my brow, and I just like went above just to make sure that I was like getting around it, because I don't want to get foundation on my brow, but I also don't want to have like a big gap around my eyebrow with no product on it, you know? So I just took this brush and I kind of like feathered the foundation in to make it look like, you know, normal, if that makes sense. So after doing that, my brows look pretty much done. They're pretty much like good. But now I'll just go in with that, I guess it has no name, this weird little brush. And I just one more time will go in and comb up the hairs. And this too kind of just softens that line between the foundation and the brow hairs. I don't like to do concealer around the top of my eyebrow, because it just, that really gives them like this super drawn on, super concealed like Instagram brow look. And I personally, literally, I personally am over the like super drawn on Instagram brow. So that's why I started doing kind of this more feathered out fun brow kind of a thing. So yeah, so I don't use concealer on the tops of my brows. Okay, so the last step that I do to finish off my brows is I go in with the Benefit Gimme Brow. And this one is in number 1, which I'm guessing is the lightest one. And I will just take that and I take it through my brows. And what I do with it is I take it straight up. I push all of my real hairs straight up, because like I said, I want that super bushy, natural like bushy brow look. Now you do not have to do this. You might be like, girl, your brows look crazy. I'm not a fan, but that's the nice thing about makeup. You don't have to do it exactly how I do. So as you can see, I'm just brushing all those hairs. I brush the ones on the inner part of my brow straight up, and then when I get more towards the tail of my brow, I'll brush them more like outwards. And this also adds a little bit of color to the brow, because this brow gel does have color to it, and so it also like adds to making it look like it's more natural and like your actual brow hairs are all those little strokes that you did. Okay, so it doesn't make a huge difference, but up close it does, and it makes it so your brows will stay in place and everything. So yeah, that is the end of the brow tutorial. Also, if you want to know how I did this glam look, well, I put it on my Instagram story, so you'd have to be following me on Instagram. If you're not, what are you doing? You're excused. Okay guys, and that is all I have for you for this brow tutorial video. I hope that you love the way that my brows turned out. If you don't, that's fine. It's makeup and you get to do your brows however you want. That's the good thing about makeup. But if you did like this video, please don't forget to give it a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel. And also, have a good day. Wherever you are, whatever you're doing, make it a good day today. I love you guys so much. Thank you so much for watching this video, and I will see you in the next one. Bye guys.
Also, don't forget, subscribe to my channel before you leave. Subscribe. Right? Subscribe to my channel before you leave. Wait. No, I messed up. I only subscribe. So. Also, don't forget to subscribe to my channel before you. To my channel. Oh my gosh, I keep blinking. Also, don't forget to subscribe to my channel until the end. Oh my. I feel like I'm in that video of that old couple, but it's like crispy, buttery, flaky bread. And the guy keeps going like flaky, crispy, buttery, and he keeps messing it up. You know what I'm talking about? That's me right now. People probably think that I'm so weird, but it's okay because it's true.